Greetings, people of the internet. This is Scott with CircWorks, and this is Beyond 100 Days of Making Comics. And in order to understand what Beyond 100 Days of Making Comics is, you have to know what the 100 Days of Making Comics Challenge is. And that's something I've been kind of thinking about. And I'll talk about that in a little bit, but let me explain what it is for the uninitiated. The 100 Days of Making Comics Challenge is where you spend at least 30 minutes a day working on a comic book project, and then you blog about it or vlog about it or just update people just to hold yourself accountable. So that's what the challenge was. I completed the challenge a while back, and now I'm just doing a little bit of updates. And before I go on to that, let me talk about my comic like I always do. It's called Young and the Dead. These are the first two issues, working on issue 3 if you've been following along. And so these are available at my web store at circworks.com. I also have the deluxe artist editions, which I need to make a few more of because I'm doing a con coming up. Talk a bit about that as well. But yeah, Young and the Dead, it is a kids versus zombie story. It's like Goonies meets Night of the Living Dead, and that's the basic rundown. I can go into a longer one, but I'm sure you've heard it before, and if you hadn't, just go back and watch all the other videos because I mention it every single one. So yeah, what I was talking about earlier was I've been thinking a lot about formatting and things like that. So the different videos that I'm doing, and if you've been watching, I've been trying to do a little of experimenting, especially with like the Fan Art Friday videos. Now I'm trying to do some speed process videos. And I haven't heard any negative things about this new way I'm doing it, so I'm thinking people like them. They're a little shorter. I used to do just long form. I would draw and it would go for about an hour or whatever. But the problem was, in order to get it less than an hour, which I didn't want to go too much over, I couldn't really do each stage of a particular drawing. I couldn't do the drawing, the inking, and then if I do coloring. With the speed drawings, I can kind of do that. So you do get to see from start to finish, even though it's sped up a little bit. So I'm testing that out. So far, it seems like it's working. I still do want to do some long form videos, but what I might do is just, do 2 videos of each. I've seen some other artists. I think Will Terrell does that, where he does one where it's just a speed video to music or whatever. I don't know if I want to do anything just to music, just because me personally, I like to kind of listen and sort of semi-watch while I'm working, and just the music things, those don't work for me. So I might do like a quick narrated video, and then I don't know, I'm still playing around with the idea. But anyway, so I've been playing around with these Fan Art Friday videos, and I have a new idea that I might sort of transition those Fan Art Friday videos into something else, and I'm still playing around with that. But anyway, so like I said, a lot of different format videos. One of the ideas I'm thinking of is this one, if I kind of want to rebrand this Beyond 100s, just because mostly what I am talking about is my comic book Young and the Dead. But I do throw in a bunch of other stuff, whatever I'm working on, especially if it has to do with comics, but even a little bit here or there. Sometimes I'll show prints and things I'm working on. So it kind of it's a little bit of a broader spectrum than just me talking on my comics. And what it essentially is, it's like a vlog. So, and I think that's a little easier for new people to digest, because if you're just new to the channel and you're going through and you see Beyond 100s, and it doesn't, and when you're looking at the videos on YouTube, it doesn't even say Beyond 100 Days of Making Comics. It just says Beyond 100s, and then it says whatever number this is. So it might get a little confusing. So I might switch this to just sort of just a general blog. And of course, every episode I'll still be talking about Young and the Dead, the comic, issue 3 that I'm working on, and my process for all that. But just kind of also talk about other things I'm working on, and if I title it vlog or something along those lines, I think it's just going to be a little more accessible to other people, and let the kind of the jump in point be a little more effective. So if you have any opinions on that, I don't think anyone is like oh no, you have to call it this, it has to be a continuation. As long as I'm still, this would, as far as format change, it wouldn't change that much because I'm still doing that. It would be more of a name change or whatever. So thinking about that, thinking about some changes to the Fan Art Friday videos, and then I'm adding new things. I just started a new series, and I don't know exactly how long this will go. I'd like to keep it sort of at least going through convention season. But I'm doing a new video series called Pro versus Con, which is basically pro tips for conventions. So I'll talk a little bit about my experience doing conventions and setting up cons, or just all different little things. Trying to I'm trying to think in the way of topics for future. And some of these are sort of broad, like I got one on table setup so far and one on convention checklist, and those can be sort of broad. So as long as I can keep ideas coming, and if you guys have any questions as far as that, anything you want to know about conventioning, things like that, or tabling at Artist Alley, anything, let me know, and that'll give me some topics to talk about. So I think the next one I'm going to do is sort of the look into the dry run, which is setting up your booth before you actually go to a convention, because that's what I'm going to be doing now, because I have Phoenix Comic Con coming up in the next, not this weekend, but the next weekend if you're watching these as they come out. It's May 29th through 31st, and I'll be at booth 6037 if you want to check me out there in Phoenix at Phoenix Comic Con. And I'll mention that again at the end of the show. I'll probably put it in the show notes. But getting a lot of stuff ready for that. I'm just about to, like I said, do this dry run setup for the booth to make sure everything works, which is a good idea. But I guess I should go. I'll talk a little about the stuff I'm bringing to Phoenix Comic Con and what I'm working on. But I should go back to Young and the Dead, because that's what this is sort of all about. So I have been putting in time with this new schedule I'm working on. I'm not putting in 30 minutes a day, but I'm trying to do somewhat the equivalent, or at least I'm trying to get at least a page done a week, and that doesn't sound like a lot. And it will, after the comic convention is over, that should speed up a little bit. So right now I've got a lot of other stuff, and just the fact that I'm happy with just the fact that I am still progressing on the comic book. So anyway, this is the most recent page for Young and the Dead that I completed this week, and not too much going on, but you know, there's a lot of storytelling elements and stuff in there, so they're not all splash pages and things like that. So but yeah, so making progress on the comic, working on some stuff for the Phoenix Comic Convention, and let's see. So I'll show you a few things I've been working on here. Oh, one of the things I'm working on right now, and I'll probably talk about this on the next Beyond 100s, or whatever I call it. It's probably next week, or it'll probably still be called Beyond 100. But I am working on a new 3D print, which is like the old, like red and blue glasses, a print that will come with glasses, and it'll be in 3D, and it's really looking cool. I'm really excited about it. So I have never, when I was a kid, I used to do these things. I used to draw them by hand with little red and blue pens, and just use 3D glasses, and they would pop out a little bit. But now with the computers and just it's just opened up a whole new world. So I think this is going to be really cool. So we'll see what the reception is to something like that. But I'll show that when I finish it next week. Super excited about that. So here's a couple of things I've talked about before are my bow ties. And I still have to work on some labels. I got a lot of little things that I'm trying to wrap up, but so they're kind of all geeky inspired bow ties. This one here is sort of the double helix design. So I'm really excited about premiering these at Phoenix Comic Con. This one I haven't done the strap yet, but this is sort of a D&D inspired, you know, dice role playing design. And I've got 3 other designs that I'll be bringing with me, and we're still working on getting those together. So another cool thing is I've got some like messenger bags, and this is actually an iPad bag with my Rocket Surgery Institute logo on it. So I'll have those, and just a bunch of new prints, a bunch of new buttons. I got a button maker, so I'll have all kinds of new buttons, just a lot of new stuff for Phoenix Comic Con. So if you happen to be in the Phoenix area, come and check me out. Like I said, I will be there. Phoenix Comic Con is May 29th through 31st, 2015. And I'll be at booth 6036. So come check me out. I'm pretty close to wherever Dark Horse is. If you're in that general vicinity, you'll be able to find me. So I think I got pretty good placement, so I'm really excited. But we'll find out whenever the wrap up after that convention happens how I did. But So yeah, I gotta go because I got a bunch of other stuff to get ready for this convention. Thanks for hanging in there with me, and hopefully a lot of new cool stuff coming with the comic book and everything, and I'll start making more progress. Next week I'll probably be at the point where I'll have hopefully have my little mini comic that I'm going to do, which is the first 8 pages of 3. It's sort of a preview. I've talked about that. I don't know if it was that last episode or the one before, but trying to get that finished. So hopefully I'll have that to show you, and then we'll see. So check me out at Phoenix Comic Con if you happen to be in the area. And I do want to start doing other conventions out of state. So obviously, if you can't make it there, I'd like to come out to where you are. It'll probably be somewhere in the Southwest area, or but we'll see. It's a goal for me to keep expanding and doing more stuff like that. So hopefully this will be the year for that. But thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys later, and that is all.